Hi guys, this is part 5 to the DragonSheep hybrid challenge. Let's get started. So the first spin I got was an IceWing-SilkWing hybrid. I went pretty basic for the build of this dragon, throwing in both IceWing and SilkWing features, although I did blend them in a few places, such as the face and the arms. I decided to change up the shape of the wings for this one because I thought it would look pretty, and I think it turned out pretty well. I went with mostly icy blues for the color palette at first, and then I switched to a more saturated blue coloration that resembled the blue Morpho butterfly. I had kind of a hard time deciding where colors should go because of what colors I was going to use, but I think it turned out okay. Because it's half IceWing, I wanted to make them super sparkly, and I wanted the wings of the dragon to resemble ice or crystals. Originally, it was only supposed to be on the wings, but I went a little crazy and sparklified the whole body. Whoops. Anyway, here's the finished product. I like this one just fine, although it is my least favorite out of the 3. For the second spin, I got a LeafWing-SeaWing hybrid. I went Google searching for inspiration for this dragon because I had no ideas, and guess what I found? Nothing. Apparently, there's no one out there with a SeaWing-LeafWing hybrid. I thought it would be a more popular hybrid, but apparently not. So, I had to come up with it 100% by myself. For the body, I went mostly SeaWing, except for the wings, and threw in a few of those dappled LeafWing scales. I also tried to make some glow-in-the-dark stripes leaf-shaped as well. For the color palette, I tried to stick with green because I figured it was a pretty safe color between the two tribes. I went with mostly dark greens with a teal undertone for this base of the scales, and the glow-in-the-dark stripes are a bright teal color. I also decided to give them some royalty stripes underneath of their wings because I wasn't really thinking and didn't really realize what I was doing. I was going to give her teal eyes, but I decided to make them blue instead so that they would stand out a little bit. Anyways, here's the finished product. This is probably my second favorite of the batch. For the third hybrid, I got a SilkWing-RainWing hybrid. For the body, I found a pretty even mix of SilkWing and RainWing features, so I'm pretty happy with it. The ears were a struggle because I wanted the frills to be shaped sort of like butterfly wings, which is an idea I saw a long time ago with somebody's OC. Anyway, I got it figured out, and I like it. I was mostly worried about the color palette for this dragon, to be honest, mostly because there were so many options to choose from. Both these tribes have literally limitless color palettes, except for SilkWings, obviously, which cannot be black, but other than that. So I wanted to do them justice, but I didn't want to make them just a super bright rainbow dragon. In the end, though, I decided to go with shades of blue, purple, and pink, and just decided that she could change her scales to be whatever she wanted. I added a lot of gradients on this dragon overall, but I think she turned out pretty well. I gave her some light highlights along the wings, and gave her some eye spots as well. If y'all couldn't already tell, I am an absolute sucker for patterned dragons. Dragons with spots, stripes, dapples, I love them. It's probably an obsession at this point. So to spice things up a bit, I added some white markings and splotches across the dragon. Which, to be honest, is probably what I should have done for the IceWing-SilkWing hybrid instead of just sparklifying it. I was kind of worried because after drawing her, I realized that she looked a lot like this one RainWing OC that was made by a Wings of Fire YouTuber who I can't pronounce the name. So yeah, sorry about that. I did go back and try to tweak the design a bit to make her look a little more different. Anyways, this is my favorite of the batch, even though I had originally planned to use more colors on her. I think I'm actually going to use her in one of my stories as a character that I'll save for later concept. But here's the finished product. And here are the other two, just for a final look. I also wanted to add that if y'all have any name ideas for any future hybrids I might do, y'all can throw them in the comments. For example, a while back I got a request that if I ever got a RainWing, Nightwing hybrid, that I would name them Fruit Bat. So if y'all have any requests like that, y'all can throw them in the comments. I'd love to hear them.